He mocked the camera. The drone stayed silent. He was lying down, looked directly at the lens, and raised his middle finger. The drone didn't respond. It hovered and then dropped. The strike was immediate. The soldier was neutralized. Every movement becomes part of target identification. Sumy region, Ukrainian drone teams picked up irregular movement through scattered brush. Near the frontline zone, a Russian soldier crept between low shrubs. Minutes later, he curled up under a small bush to rest. An FPV drone was launched. It dropped altitude and locked on. The soldier never looked up. The strike was precise. The target was neutralized without resistance. Nature went quiet again. Even thin foliage can't hide thermal signatures from low hovering FPV drones. In a destroyed settlement, Ukrainian FPV operators tracked 3 Russian soldiers moving between empty houses. One man stepped inside a house. The drone followed and the building came down. Another soldier bolted, squeezing into a tiny restroom. Seconds later, a second drone struck. The shelter collapsed. A few seconds after that, a head peered from a nearby ruin. The third drone advanced and ended the sequence. 3 strikes, 3 houses gone, nothing left standing. Tactical line urban cover no longer guarantees safety against persistent drones. He moved slowly, searching, unaware he was being watched. Sumy direction. A Russian infantryman walked alone through open terrain. Near the brush line, an FPV drone appeared. It hovered low, then accelerated toward the target. The soldier was neutralized. The drone never hesitated. In the Donetsk sector, the Ukrainian National Guard's Peaky Blinders drone team detected 2 Russian soldiers resting under a dry, leafless tree. They stood motionless, unaware. The drone hovered, then released its munition. It dropped straight between them. There was no time to move, no chance to escape. Both were instantly neutralized. Even idle moments are now monitored kill zones in modern drone warfare. A lone Russian infantryman was moving across the field headed for the front line. Then came the buzz. He turned. The drone was already close. Panic set in. He sprinted toward a trench, dove in. The drone adjusted altitude, then locked on cunt. A clean hit followed. The trench gave no protection. Modern FPV tactics exploit fear, terrain, and delay indecision. He tried to climb in. He got stuck. The drone didn't wait. In the Luhansk sector, a Russian soldier approached, attempting to squeeze through a narrow window frame. He managed to get halfway in, but his torso was too large. The drone locked on and struck before he could escape. Unusual entry behavior near buildings is now used as a strike indicator by Ukrainian drone teams. He dropped the rifle, but didn't drop the threat. In the midday heat, a Russian soldier hid near a green bush spotted by drone optics. Exhausted, he removed his jacket and collapsed beside the road. Moments later, he moved toward a shaded tree, lit a cigarette, and sat down to rest. Moments later, an FPV drone approached low and slow, tracking every breath. He raised his hand. Then, in a last-second act of defiance, threw his rifle at the drone. The drone didn't flinch. It closed in. A direct strike followed. The target was neutralized instantly. Even desperation was ineffective. He never saw it coming, not even in his sleep. July 18th, 2025, Lyman sector. Operators from the 414th UAV Brigade, Sina unit, were watching. A Russian soldier lay motionless in thick vegetation, his rifle by his side, his boots dusty. The drone hovered silent, deliberate, patient. Seconds passed. Then it surged forward. The hit was instant. No warning, no sound. He never moved again. Just one drone and one confirmed strike. They walked together, unaware. The missile was already in the air. In open terrain near Lyman, Ukraine's Marana ATGM team spotted movement through thermal optic. 7 Russian soldiers advanced as one unit, shoulder to shoulder, crossing a wide, empty field. The missile sliced across the horizon, leaving no time to react. All targets were neutralized. The field fell silent. September 19th, Sumy direction. Ukrainian Marines from the Wormbusters team, part of Magyar's birds, detected Russian infantry wearing thermal cloaks crossing exposed ground. The FPV drone targeted the man in the center first. The other two soldiers broke formation and ran. One reached a bush, but it was too late. Another dashed toward a different tree line, but the first strike left him stunned and motionless. A second drone appeared and finished him. All targets were neutralized. The field fell silent. Drone coordination exploited every gap in their defense. He lit a cigarette. The drone was already watching. Along a wooded trail, Russian infantry paused to rest after a long march. One soldier sat beneath a tree, unaware. His boot was off, his pack unstrapped. As he raised his leg to stretch, the FPV drone began its final approach. He spotted movement too late. By the time his boot touched the ground, the strike had already begun. The impact was decisive. The forest returned to silence. Nothing else moved. Even moments of rest are within drone engagement range. No panic, no warning, just routine then silence. Near the Zaporizhzhia line, surveillance drones detected a lone Russian soldier moving between burned grass and green vegetation. One soldier stopped, caked with mud. He kicked the ground repeatedly, trying to loosen his boot. Bent forward, unaware he never looked up. The drone hovered quietly, then descended. He remained focused on the dirt, and then came the strike. Still hunched, still unaware. He was neutralized in place. Even the most mundane movement is visible from above, especially when done in the open. In the Bilohorivka to Siversk direction, the Apache unit of Ukraine's 81st Airborne Brigade hunted along the tree line. A lone Russian soldier on a motorcycle crossed open terrain. The FPV drone locked on and followed, silently. When he looked back, it was already too close. Moments later, multiple drones were launched, sweeping the area. One by one, isolated infantry were tracked and struck. There was no time to regroup. No one escaped. The strike left nothing intact. A Russian soldier moved along a narrow path beneath the midday sun, his pace slow, his posture tired. He stepped off the trail, seeking rest beneath the shade of a tall tree. Unaware, behind him, an FPV drone silently closed the distance. The soldier leaned against the trunk, removed his helmet, and wiped the sweat from his face. The drone hovered low, just beyond his hearing. It paused briefly, then accelerated, impacting the tree at full speed, right where he stood. The strike was silent, precise. There was no time to react, no warning, just the end of a momentary rest. Even in stillness, there is no safety from the eyes above. In the Sumy region, a Ukrainian FPV unit set an ambush near the tree line. The first Russian soldier walked past, then suddenly fell. The second followed, also collapsed in confusion. The third raised his weapon and fired.